and welcome to the Cynthia Nyamai show. Today's show is nothing short of a movie. It involves money, lust, love, romance in a foreign country, and witchcraft. Coming up shortly. Thank you, Jane Mwangi, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, your story is like a Nigerian movie. But before we get into those juicy details, let's go back a little bit to some of the events that led you to eventually move to Nigeria and go through some of the things that you went through. Tell me about your childhood. Where did you grow up and how was your childhood?
Born and raised in Nairobi, nilizaliwa Mwangi.
Yeah.
And my childhood was not easy at all. I came from a broken home.
Yes.
My mom, I'm the firstborn in a family of 5. We were always moving.
So after high school, what were your dreams then? What career had you planned for yourself?
Oh, wow. I really wanted to be an air hostess.
Yes.
I really want because of my, actually it was just something that everybody who made you need to be a model. All I ever wanted was to have my own home.
Yes.
All I ever wanted was to get married.
Yes.
I got pregnant when I was very young.
Yeah.
I was around 17 years old when I got married, when I got pregnant, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
And because of the things that were happening at home, I felt that niche of love because I felt I've never been loved.
Yeah.
So the first man who came to me and told me, I love you, and they showed me just a little affection, I fell for it because it's something I wanted. I ended up being in a relationship for around, say, 6, 7 years in a very, very abusive relationship. Yani, what I watched my mom being done, yani, it was now even
The same
times,
thing repeated
it was
itself.
even worse than
Yes.
her own.
Yeah.
And remembering the only thing that I wanted was to change, like to be different. I wanted to be different more than, like, I just wanted to cut that trend off. Lakini some vices in life zilikuwa tu zinani push toward that direction for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were some of the similar things that you saw in your marriage and the kind of relationships that your mother had?
My ex was was an alcoholic, vibaya, and he used to come the same way. My stepdad would come and beat up my mom to the extent amvunje mkono and those kind of things, to chapa huko sisi wote. And I had to watch that every single day. And ile mpaka unakaa na baridi ukikaa kwa nyumba, you're like, what will happen next? And that kind of trauma to a kid, it really affects them, you know, psychologically, and changes their future decisions.
Some of the things we go through when we're young follow us even when we are grown.
And if you don't get like love from home, that's why I really encourage parents to like love their kids, because if you don't love your kids the right way, they'll end up looking for love in all the wrong places, you know?
So first relationship doesn't work, second relationship doesn't work. What next?
After the second relationship now, I was done. I was like, yo, I don't want to be good anymore. Ile, I'm tired of being the good girl.
So good girl gone bad.
I'm like, you know what? After my second relationship.
Was there a child?
Yes, I had my son now.
So now 2 children.
2. Sasa nikaamua nikasema, you know what, and because I had given up on my education after my Form 4, getting married, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm done being good. Sasa let me hit the streets. Let me hit the streets and let me go and party. You know, I had never even partied all my life. I skipped that stage in life, ilea, to have fun and to party and that kind of thing. So nilikuwa na that yearning, like I want to go to the club and have fun and just let go of all these things that have happened in my life, you know. And you know, of course, that path, it always never ends up well because it's not a very good path to follow. So mi nikaenda club. Actually, the first day I went to the club, I met this Nigerian. Even before I could articulate my plans of partying and
a Nigerian comes along.
Yeah, this Nigerian just shows up from nowhere and
Madam, as I said, this interview, this story is like a Nigerian movie. Let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, the second part of this Nigerian movie. Welcome back to the CNshow. As I promised you, today we have Afro Cinema.
And it continues.
So let's get to the next part. You enter into a club because now you're a good girl, gone bad. You want to start a new life. And then you meet this Nigerian man.
I met this Nigerian, and you know the way they can, you've been there, you know the way they can be charming. And we ended up being in a relationship. I thought that finally I had found someone maybe who I can settle down with finally. After trying now, this the third time, nilikuwa zile za, you know what, let's see how this goes. Hopefully it will end up well, but unfortunately it was not so. It was also a very, very abusive marriage also as well. And even apart from what I really, really suffered most was both physical and mostly emotional abuse. And I always felt used. I always felt used, Sababu. You know, when I met my baby daddy, aliniambia he does Bitcoin, he does, but it's later on I came to realize he's doing fraud, you know, and he would use my bank account, he would, you know, ask me to collect money in Western Union to a point I remember one time the bank called me and they were like, do you know where this money is coming from? Who's sending? And they were questioning me.
So those were large amounts, more than $10,000.
Na hata akifanyiwa hiyo, anafanya for some of his friends.
And they're
even
all using your account.
And I'm just there because thinking it's love and that kind
You're
of thing.
You're supporting your man.
Na hapo ndo tunakula. I'm like, you know what? Lazima usupport mtu. I got pregnant. I was pregnant again for him. Even before, that was before Sasa we parted ways and I realized about Interpol and all. At one of the reasons why it took me a while, Sababu, this is somebody you have a child with.
And you still love him anyway.
And it now got to a point, nikasema, you know what? I can't do this. And sasa ndio nikajifungua, sasa my third born. I was like, sasa I have 3 kids. I have this man mwenye, you know, I have to reevaluate my life. Hata kama it was such a painful kitu for me to do because nilikuwa na imagine now this is the 3rd marriage. What will people say?
So now you've gone from Oga to Mama Madeni.
I'm telling you.
What was your next move?
Nikasema, you know what? I want to go to Nigeria. Niende Nigeria, ni try and revive my business because then I used to get things from there. So venye
stock for the business.
My stock for my business. And there was somebody who was sending me those things then. But eventually, them too, they were not very honest. Na watumia pesa, they don't want to deliver my goods completely. Nikasema, you know what? I need to go there so that I get my own contacts, my business contacts and all. Na sayo, I felt like, you know, see, I can't even go back to being the bad girl with 3 kids.
Yes.
I can't go back to the streets.
Yeah.
Nikona too, like the only way out, it's through my business.
Yeah.
The only way out, it's if I revive my business, I'll be able to take care of my kids to pay my bills.
Yeah. So you land into Nigeria with your capital, borrowed money, and also a few things you've sold, and you want to start afresh for your business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I landed in Nigeria.
You left the kids here in
Yes,
Kenya?
I had to
Who did you leave your children
I
with?
left them with my aunt.
Okay.
My uncle.
That must have been difficult.
It was
to
difficult,
to leave
but
your children.
in my thinking, nilijua I'm only going for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's when my return ticket was in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I knew I'm not going
You'll
for
be
such a long time.
Yeah.
It's only for 2 weeks, then I'll be back. So nikaenda and I got a hotel where I could stay.
Was this your first time?
Yes, it was my first
You're
time.
courageous.
It was my first time.
Yeah, you're courageous, yeah.
Immediately kuingia, I just went, freshened up, nikaenda kwa lobby, and I found all these girls sitting there. So hata kukaa, the way I was dressed, you know, they know Kenyans by the way they dress. So like 1, 2 girls wakakuja ile, when I told them, and I told her my intentions, what I was really there for, to go to the market. She was kind enough to offer help. Ile, I can take you to the market, and that kind of, I was like, okay, good, sounds good. So from the following day, tukaanza kwenda kwa market, sasa getting things and all. So after nime accumulate everything, I've packed everything. So now it got to the shipping part. This girl showed me this office, and it had all the marker license, kila kitu, those stickers, freights, whatever. And I was like, okay. And they PMA'd my goods with a kg. Wakanyambia, you know what, expect your goods on Friday.
In
Kenya. In Kenya. Na sasa I was supposed to go home on Wednesday. So nikajua nikifika, it will only take me like only 2 days. Then my goods, I'll just receive my goods. I was so excited. Nikasema, thank God. Mi nikalipa, mpaka nikalipa pesa yangu ya like the money for the flight, for the goods. It was the last night in Lagos. And she was like, oh, let's go out at least the last day. And nilikuwa too excited. I'm like, okay. And I was also excited to go and meet my babies. I had missed them so much. So we went out. In the morning, my phone is missing, my bag is missing, and my passport iko ndani. And I'm supposed to travel like hiyo siku, like in the next around 12 hours.
We'll come back shortly and find out if she was able to indeed change her life and her children's life through her business. Coming back shortly. Your story is quite interesting. So you get to Nigeria, you get a bit suspicious after a transaction, and you've bought goods thanks to a loan that you had to take. And you get back to the hotel and you feel something is not right.
I felt,
what happened?
I felt something was not right because I was like, what is happening? Me, after to my thinking in the beginning, I was like, maybe my friend decided to keep my bag for me
and keep
or
them
to
safe.
come here. Naangalia, watch 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, I was going crazy. Kitu ikaniambia, you know what, go back to where you shipped your things. Sababu now the whole thing is just, you know. Kwenda nikapata the office did not even exist. Hakuna hata ofisi, by the way.
So the room was empty?
The room was empty.
Did you ask people around this office?
I was asking, I was even hysterical. I was screaming. I almost fainted. I cried. Yani nililia. I really cried. Nikafeel sasa nitaanzia tena wapi? How do I go back home? What do I tell these people wenye niko na pesa zao? The other thing, my passport is missing. I don't know, nimemaliza pesa zangu zote because my stay has come to an end, and I had budgeted for I'd paid for my hotel for only those 2 weeks. And nikasema, you know what? The solution is not going back home. Sababu sijui niende nyumbani aje na hizi responsibilities niko nazo. Nimeuza vitu zangu za nyumba, ndio ni revive biashara yangu. Then I've lost everything. Now I'm in serious debts za watu. So the following day ikakuja na ikaisha, and that day ndo ilikuwa my ticket, my return ticket to come back. So that's when it sank on me like I'm stranded. I now met this girl in the hotel. Mwenye sasa alikuwa zile, you know what, you don't have to stay in this hotel anymore. I can show you where you can stay as long as, do you mind? I was like, at that point, sina choice. She took me to Lekki. Nikaingia kwa nyumba, mi tuma surprise hata venye niliingia. I was like, okay, nikapata around more than 40 girls inside. I was like, you know what, alikuwa casual, and you know Nigerians, they're very open. Akaambia, yeah, we are hustling, we are looking for money, and this is where we stay. And she introduced me to her madam, and all. She was like, come, I'll show you my room. From there, now, sasa, it dawned to me, I'm in a brothel. And I'm stuck. The life that I've been running away from since birth. Yani, it was right there. It was a very difficult decision for me to make.
It felt like you had no choice.
Yani,
because you can't go home. Kuna madeni nyumbani. You don't even have the passport to travel home. You're in a country you don't know anybody. And you're in a place, and that is the last place you ever wanted to
and this is what I've been running away all my life, you know? So eventually the madam of the house called me aside. Akaniambia, you know what, Jane, or what is it that they call you in Kenya? This is not Kenya. Around here, things are done differently. You cannot just come in town and just start sleeping with guys. This is Nigeria. You can't just start sleeping with men without getting protected. And I was like, which kind of protection are you talking about? Akaniambia, you know, you need to go to a witch doctor who is going to do some things for you that are going to protect you. And even if now any other guy sleeps with you, if they have something in them that can harm you, it will not harm you. Unajua, most Kenyans, we don't believe in these things. We don't. I'm like, there's no way these things can exist in this world. By the way, ungeni convinced. I knew this is something I'm doing that's taking away my dignity as a woman. And, you know, na ilikuwa inaniuma sana as much as I needed the money. But I knew I had no choice. I have to do it. And you were doing it without protection. Did it catch up with you going out there without protection? Oh my God. Eventually, definitely, it did catch. I met one gentleman who was very handsome. You know, the way Nigerians are so handsome and charming, and they know how to dress, and, you know. And I slept with him. Funny thing, when I slept with him, na venye alikuwa loving in the beginning, akinipeleka this date, in the morning, I sensed something off in him. So you get home with the money? I go home with the money, and I slept off. Normally, I just took my bath na nikalala. And when I was sleeping for the first time, I had this thing. What do they call it? Sleep paralysis. Ile you're in this deep sleep, you're having a very bad dream, but you can't open your eyes. You're trying to scream, you're trying to come out of it, na uwezi. And I could realize, funny thing, nilikuwa na realize I'm in a dream. I need to wake up, but I can't wake up. So my body ilikuwa in shock, but eventually I was able to just open my eyes. Nikapata all these girls surrounding me. I'm like, what's happening to you? Ni ile nika nimeshikwa na seizure or something. I was like, what's happening to you? What's happening to you? Some people were screaming in the background. I was like, yo, what's happening? Kuamka hivi napata damu imejaa the whole bed. I'm like, nini inaendelea? In the beginning, I was like, you know, maybe it's my period, maybe hormonal imbalance. That's when I realized, you know what, I could be dying.
Yes.
By the way, funny thing, nilikuwa ile nimefika a point in life I was so frustrated, so depressed from childhood, nikaanza kukumbuka. In that moment, I was just, you know, remembering my childhood, everything I went through, my childhood, my first marriage, my second marriage, my third marriage.
Because now you're
to
seeing
this
I'm
point.
coming to the end.
Yeah.
So what happened?
By the way, that thing they used to say, you see your whole life flashing back. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually, did you see maybe a specialized doctor or prayers?
I remember just praying to God.
Yeah.
Telling God, you know what? I'm tired of this life. Unajua, normally someone in that situation, ungekuwa mtu angekuwa naomba Mungu, Lord save me.
Yeah.
You know, but me nilikuwa nime give up in life. I was like, you know what, God, just take my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Take my life. I've suffered through enough trauma since childhood.
Yeah.
Now imefika to this point since you brought me, but those were my words.
Yeah.
I told God, since you brought me in this world to suffer,
Yes.
just take me.
Yeah.
Let me rest.
Yeah.
Let me find peace.
Because, you know, time is almost up. I just want to find out why do you share this story? This is not a very easy story to share. What lessons did you learn and why do you share this story?
When I came back to Kenya, I started talking about these things because it's something that is happening currently in Kenya.
Yeah.
And you know that right now it's the in thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're just there eating money, ukipopiwa champagne, akikununulia iPhone X, and all, you think uko mbele sana.
And all this, when I listened to your story, all this started with you looking for love, and I guess looking for love in all the wrong places. Have you now come to a place where you accept yourself despite your childhood, the things you went through in Nigeria, and found that love for yourself?
Oh my God. I even found more than that because I now got to realize that life is so deep.
Yeah.
I keep on saying this thing.
Spiritual.
Life is so spiritual.
Yes.
Sex is so spiritual.
Yes.
We need to reevaluate life. Kama wasichana wadogo, tuna need to evaluate our lives, our decisions, the kind of choices we make. You know, your shortcut in life, like you want to just, it has consequences. Yeah. Everything in this life has consequences.
We're so grateful for being so vulnerable and opening up about some details in your life, just to educate other women and even men not to get into the same situation. Shortcuts truly are dangerous, and our guest has talked about her life, but we're so grateful that eventually she did find her purpose in that journey of trying to find true love, but she realized that what she really needed to do was to love herself. Join me next week at the same time on the CN Show for more stories like this. I can't promise another Nigerian movie, but I can promise you it will be another raw story. Have a good evening.